Why hello there! As you may have noticed, I'm not Nico and I'm most certainly not Jack. What I am is a semi-objective bystander that's experienced firsthand the disagreements.
And I was very close to calling it a day at that point.
Maybe if the Popeye t-shirt is such a big deal, I should have asked her out instead.
The highs.
Jack's friend walked past me and slapped my ass.
I do not condone.
The lows.
Yeah, it wasn't the fairy tale moment.
The laughs. And of course, the enduring love between this beautiful couple, Jack and Nico. But anyway, that's enough from me. This video is not about me. It is about Jack and Nico and their 10-year anniversary. How are you feeling?
I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little bit
Nervous?
Why?
Well, you know, Nico's parents watch all of our videos. So, you know, if I say something out of turn, well, you know, who knows what the consequences will be.
Well, let's start from the beginning. How old were you when you guys met?
I was 24 when me and Jack met.
And how old was Jack?
Well, funny you should ask that.
He told me he was older.
I think I told her I was 20,
There's a bit of an age gap, but you know, it's okay.
but I was actually 18, just about to turn 19.
Did the age gap bother you?
Not in the slightest. I mean, you know, she was a hot older lady. What's a guy to do?
What was life like before you met Jack?
I was at that time just kind of living for the weekend, enjoy going out with my mates, having a lot of fun.
So I was living in Nottingham in like a shared house with some guys,
I wasn't really thinking too much like into the future.
going out with friends, having fun.
Were you looking for someone?
No, I wasn't looking for a relationship at the time. I think I was just, you know, happy-go-lucky.
I've not really had not a bad track record with guys. Well, maybe.
So that morning, the thoughts of going out and meeting the woman I was going to spend the rest of my life with were far from my mind, to be honest.
Let me tell you a little bit of a backstory around that time.
Yep.
My grandpa had actually passed away like the week before. You know, I was grieving, I was in a bit of a bad place. And I said to my friend, I need to go out. I need to go out, I need to have some fun. Let's go somewhere new. You know, I'd lost like a very important male figure in my life. And then I found Jack. And there's a lot of similarities between him and my grandpa. I know that he would have absolutely loved him.
So tell me the moment that you met. What was that like?
Well, I'll be honest, it was a little bit hazy for me.
Yeah, it wasn't the fairy tale moment.
I'd had one or two sherbets that evening.
What is a sherbet?
An alcoholic beverage.
So I was on the dance floor with my friend, and Jack's friend walked past me and slapped my ass.
I do not condone.
No.
I do not condone such actions.
Yes.
And I'm quite fiery when I'm drunk. So I turned around and was like, and then came face to face with Jack.
She turned around, saw my dashing good looks, saw my you know, nice shirt I was wearing, and
I just was like, oh my God, I love your shirt. And then we just kissed.
Wow.
as they say, the rest is history.
So how was the kiss?
Well, I couldn't remember parts. I was quite drunk. I don't remember that much. I mean, it must have been good enough because we stayed up all night chatting, and he told me some things that usually I would think were a bit odd, but I just thought were adorable.
Like what?
Like about his guinea pig, Honeyfoot,
Honey,
which just melted my heart when he told me about this guinea pig he used to have.
Honeyfoot was unfortunately taken from us by my auntie's dog.
What were your first impressions of him?
Let's be honest, it was probably pretty superficial at the beginning. We were two young, good-looking people having
Fun. This guy seems nice, but he seems very different in some ways.
I feel like over the coming days that we spent together,
He just really didn't annoy me.
Do men usually annoy you?
Yeah, I mean, if you spend like a whole day with someone.
I really realised that actually she's just a really cool girl.
So we kind of did that for a few weeks, and we just kind of keep going out and meeting when we're out. And then we decided to actually have a date, and that was like
Ooh.
a few weeks into it, a proper date. Where
Where'd
we went
you
out for
go?
food.
We had incredibly sloppy burgers, washed down with a few pints of ale.
Which is not really what normal people do on dates because it was very messy.
And then I think we went for a drink at Spanky Van Dyke's, and I remember actually we held hands, which was pretty cute.
Aww. I'll get to the cuteness soon, but do you remember what you wore on that night?
Oh, I know where this is going. I know what she said, right? She said,
I was very close to calling it a day at that point.
What?
She said that I wore a vile Popeye t-shirt.
In like silver foil.
What?
If I had this t-shirt on right now, you'd probably think it was quite dashing.
I was shocked, to be honest. And I was like, ooh.
The girl in the shop that I bought it from, like the vintage store, she said it was pretty cool as well.
And I was like,
Maybe if the Popeye t-shirt is such a big deal, I should have asked her out instead. She liked the Popeye t-shirt.
When did you realize that you had feelings for him and wanted to make it more than just a dance floor romance?
Probably on that first date, to be honest. I think when we were holding hands, because I was like, this is just going swimmingly.
maybe around my birthday. I remember coming back from work and there was like flowers on my doorstep.
You know when you're just like with someone and it's just like easy? Yeah. And so I think I realized pretty early on, I was like, this is pretty easy, you know? And I think that's probably the best way a relationship can be.
It was just this weird kind of feeling that I've never had with anybody else.
Do you remember your first trip together?
We went to a festival and
Which was also the first place we said we loved each other.
maybe it was the being out in the field and being drunk.
I think she said something along the lines of like, I know I'm gonna regret this. Maybe I'm just drunk, but you know what? I really, really love you, Jack.
And then what did you say?
I said, of course you do.
I can't even remember when we like became official because like it was just, we didn't say it because you just kind of are. We were just kind of like, this is who we are now.
Obviously, you guys are getting along like a house on fire. You love each other, you're kissing, you're holding hands. But what did your families think of each other?
So my parents had reservations.
Her parents are probably a little bit skeptical of me because, you know, I was a little bit younger.
I took my mum to London for her birthday and she said like, what are you doing?
Maybe I didn't fit the typical profile. I wasn't from the northeast of England.
And I said to her, I've never met someone that we literally think the same.
And I was very nervous before we went and met them, actually.
My family lived 3.5 hours away, so I had to like take him to my house, and it was kind of more of a deal.
I was incredibly nervous to meet them, but they made me feel very at ease. I remember we went out for dinner. I again felt very nervous for sort of the first few hours, but I think we had a few drinks. I think things loosened up a little bit. You know what? They were very welcoming. I felt very like, I didn't feel at all awkward. Nicola was like warning me on the way up. She was like, oh, my dad might say something a bit, you know, to try and test you or whatever.
Did he?
No, well, I mean, if he did, I must have failed the test because I didn't notice.
And they met him and they loved him.
I think Nicola has a very specific set of emotional needs, and I would always want her parents to feel like that I can take care, in their absence, especially when we're living on the other side of the world, I can take care of those emotional needs.
He's really patient, and I think that is kind of what I need because I'm
An incredibly emotional person.
quite fiery.
She's able to like outwardly express her emotions, which of course can have its challenges at times.
That's why we work so well, because all of the qualities that I'm not very good at or I'm bad at, he's really good at, and vice versa.
We are kind of like a couple of like perfectly fitting like Lego bricks or Tetris blocks.
Okay, well, enough about the good. What are his worst qualities? What do you think Nico replied as your worst quality?
He's a fiddler, so like
Tearing up bits of paper and leaving them around the house.
that irritates me because I'm quite like clean.
Honestly, nothing irritates me about her, really. I get irritated at myself because I know I'm irritating her.
How would you describe your relationship in 3 words?
Caring.
I think we're very loyal to each other.
Fun.
Yeah, we're best friends, so we often have a lot of fun together.
And an adventure.
You know, Nico said the exact same.
Oh, God.
What are your hopes and dreams for the future?
Like a nice house up in the mountains somewhere, like something a bit rural.
Eventually buying a little cabin in the mountains and having like 3 dogs.
Nicola can take videos of the dogs and send them to me whilst I'm off cycling and skiing.
That's where I just see our pretend dream idyllic life.
Nico said literally word for word the exact same thing. Any final words you'd like to say to Jack? You can say it right to the camera.
Thank you for making me an incredibly happy guy. I feel like these 10 years have absolutely flown by, and I think that's because we've just had so much fun and so many adventures.
Thanks for putting up with me for 10 years. I bet my parents never thought it would happen.
I love you a lot, and yeah, thanks for just making my life so much better.
You've got a lot of strength and patience.
Amazing. Cool, I think that's it.
Yeah.